The final episode of Stranger Things just came out, and wow, people have a lot of different feelings about it. Some people loved the ending. They cried happy tears and thought it was beautiful. But other people felt confused. They thought some things happened too fast or that something important was missing. And there's one big question that everyone keeps asking. Did Eleven die at the end? Or is she still alive somewhere? Instead of just giving you an answer right away, let's take our time. Let's look at what really happened in the last episodes. We'll talk about what the show told us, what it wanted us to feel, and why so many people see it in different ways. Because this ending, it's making people feel all kinds of things. The final episodes had to do so many things. The scary mind flayer came back. Vecna had his final battle with our heroes. Some characters we loved didn't make it. And then there was a really long ending that showed us what happened years later. That's a lot for one finale to handle. So the question isn't just, was it good or bad? The real question is, did the ending make sense with everything that came before it? Did it feel right for the characters we've loved for so long? To figure that out, we need to talk about the biggest mystery of all. What really happened to Eleven?
The show really wants you to think Eleven died. Here's what we saw. She stayed behind in the scary upside-down world. She didn't walk back through the gate with her friends. She realized that as long as she was around, bad people would keep trying to hurt the people she loves. So she made a choice to stay. That feels like a goodbye, right? But then the show does something interesting. A year and a half later, we see Mike playing Dungeons and Dragons with some kids. He tells a story about a powerful mage who sounds exactly like Eleven. And in Mike's story, the mage didn't die. She just disappeared. She went somewhere peaceful, somewhere safe. And this is where people started seeing it differently. Some people think this means Eleven is actually alive. Maybe she used special powers to trick everyone. Maybe Kali, her sister with illusion powers, helped her. Maybe she's hiding somewhere safe. After all, we never saw her actually die, right? But other people think Mike is just telling himself a story to feel better, that he's pretending she survived because it hurts too much to say she's gone, that the Dungeons and Dragons story is just his way of coping with losing her. And here's the really important part. The show never tells us which one is true. That mystery is on purpose, but just because something is done on purpose doesn't mean everyone will like it. Because think about Eleven's whole journey through the show. She spent her whole life alone in a lab. She was treated like a weapon, not a person. And what did she want more than anything? To have a family, to belong somewhere. Hopper became her dad, Mike became her boyfriend, the whole group became her family. So whether she's alive or dead, a lot of fans ask the same question. Would Eleven really choose to be alone forever, even if it kept her friends safe? That's what makes people feel torn about the ending. And if you're still watching, make sure to subscribe and like this video. Now let's talk about the bad guys. Vecna and the Mind Flayer were finally shown to be totally connected. They weren't one controlling the other, they were two scary forces that needed each other to be powerful. That idea sounds really cool, right? But here's where some fans felt disappointed. Vecna, who seemed almost impossible to beat before, gets defeated kinda quickly. And the Mind Flayer, that giant shadow monster that was so scary and mysterious, it becomes something solid, something you can fight and punch and actually hurt. Some people liked finally seeing what it really looked like, but other people felt like it wasn't as scary anymore. Think about it like this. You know how monsters under the bed are really scary when you can't see them? They feel super terrifying in the dark. But then you turn on the light and suddenly they're not so scary anymore. That's what happened with the Mind Flayer. That's how some fans felt about the Mind Flayer. Plus, there's another problem. The Upside Down is supposed to be the Mind Flayer's home, the place where it's strongest. But during the final battle, it never really feels like our heroes are in big trouble. Remember season 4? Every time Vecna showed up, it felt hopeless, like there was no way to win. But in this finale, the danger feels smaller. That doesn't mean the ending is bad, it just means it doesn't feel as intense and scary as it used to be. And being scary, that's what made Stranger Things so good in the first place. Joyce is the one who finally defeats Vecna. Some fans thought this made perfect sense. Joyce has been protecting her kids since season 1.
But other fans thought it felt sudden, like Joyce didn't get enough screen time in the finale to earn that big moment. And then there's Will. Remember how connected Will was to Vecna? How he could feel what Vecna was feeling? The show reminds us about this connection again in the finale. We see that Will is strong, that he can fight Vecna with his mind. But we never get that final face-to-face showdown between them that many people expected. After everything Will went through, it feels like his story was missing one last important piece. Not that it was bad, just that there could have been more. And that brings us to something bigger about this finale. After the big battle, the show jumps ahead in time. We see where everyone ends up years later. Mike has a job, so does Dustin, people have relationships, new kids are playing Dungeons and Dragons just like our heroes used to. On one hand, this feels nice. We get to see that life goes on, that our heroes are okay. On the other hand, this ending part is 45 minutes long. That's almost like watching an entire extra episode. Some fans loved seeing the next generation of kids playing D&D. It felt like the story was continuing, like a circle. But other fans thought it went on too long. Especially after such a huge battle, some people wanted to sit with those big feelings for longer. It makes you wonder, did the show spend too much time showing us the future and not enough time letting us feel the ending of the big fight? Here's the honest truth. This finale isn't terrible, and it isn't perfect either. It's somewhere in the middle. It has some really beautiful moments. There are callbacks to earlier seasons that made longtime fans smile. And you can tell the people making it really cared. But it also feels stuffed, like they were trying to fit too much story into not enough time. Season 4 was really good. It was dark, scary, and personal. Season 5's finale tried to do something different. It focused more on saying goodbye and looking to the future. That works for some people, and it doesn't work for others. And maybe that's why people have such different opinions, because Stranger Things has been on TV for years. The fans grew up watching it, and not everyone wanted the same kind of goodbye. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think 11 is still alive somewhere? Did Vecna and the Mind Flayer feel scary enough? And did the ending make you feel satisfied, or did it leave you wishing for something more? Tell me what you think in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos about Stranger Things, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.